your screen, you'll see we have a breaking news story at this hour. Police have managed to find parts of vehicles found in the river. This after the bodies of 3 SAPS officers were found yesterday. Of course, early on we spoke to our reporter, senior reporter Chriselda Lewis, who's on the scene there for us. Of course, the parts of the vehicle were found at the Hennops River. Chriselda Lewis is there for us. Let's cross now live to her. These are live visuals. Chriselda, over to you.
Well, a very good afternoon to you. We're still live from the Hennops River. And as you can see, just here in front of me, we've got search and rescue teams that are still, as we understand, had been searching for the missing vehicle. You'd know this would be the missing vehicle pertaining to the 3 police officers whose bodies were found in the Hennops River. And police, of course, yesterday confirming that those are the bodies of the 3 missing police officers. But we do have some breaking news at this particular moment. Police have confirmed to SABC News that they have found parts of a vehicle in the Hennops River, and what they're investigating at this particular stage is whether the parts of this vehicle may belong to the vehicle that these 3 police officers were traveling in. What we can confirm at this particular stage, Unati, is that police have confirmed to SABC News that parts of a vehicle have been found in the Hennops River, and at this particular point they are still investigating whether those parts belong to the car that has been missing, pertaining to the 3 police officers whose bodies were found in the Hennops River. You must recall that when we got a briefing from the National Police Commissioner yesterday, they did confirm that they did find some parts, little parts pertaining to the VW Polo vehicle that the police officers were traveling in. But police are confirming to us at this particular point that parts of a vehicle, have been found in the Hennops River. But what cannot be confirmed at this particular stage is whether those parts of that vehicle belong to the vehicle itself in question. So I think we will know. I do understand that senior members of the police are on their way to this particular scene. I'm not sure. A little bit earlier on in my reportage, I did indicate that there had been some specialized equipment that had been brought in to search for this vehicle. Remember, yesterday we had a helicopter that had been hovering over the Hennops River, and they were trying to see if they could find anything else. And that helicopter had actually managed to identify one of the bodies that was at the river itself. So at this particular point, the breaking news that we do have is that police are confirming that parts of a vehicle have been found in the Hennops River. But what we cannot ascertain at this particular stage or confirm is if all the parts of that vehicle belong to the vehicle that these police officers were traveling in. I think that has been the major question, Unati, at this particular point, and is what the families had actually been asking police yesterday. They wanted questions about where the vehicle was. Police indicated yesterday that their investigations were continuing, and the search itself had been continuing for a couple of hours right here behind me. But police have confirmed to SABC News that parts of a vehicle, we do not know what kind of vehicle it is, parts of a vehicle have been found here in the Hennops River behind me. A little bit earlier on, Unati, when I got a glimpse, I did see the divers that were inside the river. They'd been searching for a couple of hours. The specialized equipment had also been brought in, and I'm talking about drones, because yesterday we had the helicopters that were being used. Drones were brought in today, part of the specialized equipment that was brought in. And I do understand that now parts of a vehicle, we don't know what vehicle it is. That will, of course, be a course of investigation. And I also do understand from a source that the families have been contacted with regard to this finding. I'm not sure what that means at this particular stage, but the only thing that I can confirm is that police are confirming to SABC News that parts of a vehicle, We don't know what vehicle it is. I must stress this. Parts of a vehicle have been found here in the Hennops River. And this, of course, culminating into a search of a couple of hours. The specialized equipment itself being brought in. We saw some of the divers also yesterday. We saw some of the divers also here today. And, indications were that this would be a crucial part of the evidence for police, because talking about the vehicle itself, the vehicle in question, we do understand that the police did have a firearm in that particular vehicle. And there were a lot of speculations about what possibly could have happened here. But police have indicated that they are investigating a case of culpable homicide at this particular stage. But, if there's any evidence that may suggest otherwise, then they would change the course of their investigation. But what we can tell you at this stage is police have confirmed to us that they have found parts of a vehicle. We are not sure what vehicle it is. Parts of a vehicle here in the Hennops River. So I guess investigations are going to start into looking at those parts. Do they fit the description of the car that these 3 police officers whose bodies were found in the Hennops River? Is it the car that they were traveling in? We'll wait for official confirmation. I do understand that we might also be joined here perhaps in the next hour or so by the South African Police Service, and perhaps we'll get more details pertaining to what exactly it is they have found. But police confirming to SABC News that parts of a vehicle, we're not sure what kind of vehicle it is, what make it is, but parts of a vehicle have been found in the Hennops River. The search here behind me, there were some divers that had come out from the river just a few moments ago, and they had indicated that they'd been searching this area, combing this area for quite a while. But you must also remember that there had also been, questions from the family about what could have happened to this vehicle. There were some elements of the vehicle that had been found at the scene when police had been combing the scene yesterday, but the body of the car, parts of the car, anything of that nature had not yet been found. But police confirming now that parts of a car, we're not sure what car it is, have been found in the Hennops River. We'll wait for official confirmation about whether police believe these parts, also relate to this particular vehicle that the missing 3 police officers whose bodies were found in the Hennops River, whether those parts belong to that particular vehicle. Because you must recall also another vehicle had also been found on this particular scene. In fact, where we were broadcasting from yesterday, and where the families had also gone to see the scene itself. Incredibly emotional. You would remember the scenes that we saw yesterday. The families had been brought in from their hometown and brought to identify the bodies of that were retrieved from the Hennops River. And subsequent to that, the search for this car has been continuing. There'd been speculation about whether, due to the heavy rains that we saw last week, perhaps would the car gone downstream. That is why the continued search, there's been a continued search in the Hennops River for this particular vehicle. But breaking news at this particular hour, we do understand that parts of a vehicle, Unati, and I do not want us to report this as the vehicle in question. We have to say parts of a vehicle have been found in the Hennops River. We cannot for sure say at this particular stage whether these are parts, which I understand might even be a bumper, according to some source, a front and a back bumper of a vehicle. Some of the parts that were found, we're not sure at this particular stage whether it is related to this vehicle in question. But what we can confirm, police confirming to us, is that parts of a vehicle have been found in the Hennops River. I guess investigations, of course, are going to get underway into whether indeed this has been, or this is the vehicle that has been in question. It would have been a crucial part of the evidence, as I mentioned a bit earlier on, because as I indicated, there'd been a firearm in that vehicle, and if any foul play is to be suspected, perhaps that firearm might have been taken. But remember, police are indicating at this stage that a case of culpable homicide is being investigated. But if any evidence would suggest otherwise at a later stage, then maybe they would change the course of their investigation. But culpable homicide at the moment. But breaking news at this particular point is that parts of a vehicle have been found in the Hennops River. We cannot confirm if these are parts relating to the vehicle in question itself, the vehicle which has been missing, which is the VW Polo that the 3 police officers whose bodies were found in the Hennops River, if it was the vehicle that they were traveling in. But that confirmation, I think at this part would be a question which will pose to the authorities as soon as they get here.
All right, SABC senior reporter there, Chriselda Lewis, bringing us that breaking news story.